Bryant Boxing and their 4th generation of Imperial gloves. Improving boxing gloves can be a little bit like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. You improve one area, but you have to make sure that in an area that was already fine before isn't worse. Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel. I'm Simon, former amateur boxer, current amateur boxing coach, and on Fit to Box channel I highlight to you all the boxing equipment that is out there. Today we have Bryant Boxing and their Gen4 MANSA MUSA edition of their Imperial gloves. MANSA MUSA was actually the imperial ruler of the Mali Empire and considered to be the wealthiest human being that ever lived. Hence why these are all sort of resplendent in gold. So Bryant Boxing, I've featured them on the channel lots before. There's quite a few reviews that I've done, and I'll refer to those reviews as we go through this one. As I say, this is the 4th generation of this glove, and Bryant Boxing are always trying to improve their gear. When it comes to Bryant Boxing, I think they put a lot of thought into their gear, a lot of development goes into their gear, and also they give back as well. So they're still doing the every 3 gloves that they sell, they give one pair of gloves to a local boxing club, which I think is fantastic. And then when it comes to these MANSA MUSA gloves, these are 16 ounce, you can see with that beautiful gold metallic. You've got embroidery on the wrist there. You've also got embroidery on the rear. Just when it comes to that embroidery, if I show you, I don't know if you can notice that the embroidery is a little bit off on the one glove, so it's a little bit slanted where it should be a little bit more perfect than that. So I'll just have to point that out, just like one of the finer details. Doesn't affect obviously the performance of the glove. Also what you've got is Bryant Boxing do think about the lining, and again look at that for a stunning lining, and I'll have a closer look at that later on in the video. These have got the welted seams, of course, they are made in Mexico, and they've also got the free replacement 18 months replacement padding service, which I include in my scoring. I take that into account. So basically, if you use the padding goes before 18 months, you can send them back to Bryant Boxing and they will put some new padding in there. So that definitely increases the durability and length of time that you will have the gloves, and also I think that improves the value for money as well, because most gloves don't have that. Now when it comes to the value for money, you've got, these are $275 US, that's about 198 UK pounds, and then you've got shipping, which in the USA and Canada is free. It is at $10 to come to the UK, which I think is amazing, and anywhere in Europe that is $25. So the price of them, that puts them into the Fit to Box heavyweight lace division. I'll be doing that card later on, but let's have a closer look at these gloves. So the Gen4 MANSA MUSA gold metallic with that triple lump at the back. You've got the 16 ounce label at the bottom there, these in the lace, and as you come up you've got that embroidery in the gold there as well. When you look across at the other glove, you can see that this one's a little bit sort of not, it's a bit wonky, it's not perfect. This one seems fine and this one is a little bit off. When I come through to bringing it round, you can see on the front there again you've got that imperial. I like the imperial embroidery on the front there. And let's just move on to the lining there and see that fabulous lining, and we'll come back to that later on, but it really does give a great look to the gloves. Now I'll go into the knuckle, and they used a new foam. It's a natural latex. I think that this foam is better for sparring. It's not as flat as the previous version which they had. I think this one is better for the bag. I think this one would be better for sparring. So it's quite a soft latex foam there. Then we come on to the thumb, the leather thumb attachment there. And on the front of the thumb, you've got 5 air holes. Although, if you have a look, it does look like they're covered by the inner red lining. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. Let's try it on the other glove. See it there. Okay. And then on these, I will come on to sort of the issues. The left glove is tighter in the thumb area when it is the left glove being this one here. Sort of here it is quite tight there as you're using it. And then as I bring it across there on this one, there is a bit more movement on the outside of there as well, which I'll come to in the comfort. Then let's come on to that wrist, and we've got the 3 lumps on the wrist there, really padded, and that's where the laces will track across. And on the front, again, quite big padding on the front of each side. I think they could actually tone that down a little bit. I don't think it needs to be as bulbous as that on the front. And then you can open the hand fine, and that grip bar does its job really well. And so no problems when it comes to sort of catching shots. Stitching, good stitching. If you look at against the beading, comes a little bit away from the beading. So I've seen gloves that are neater than that. And also I'll show you this one as well, and again, so it's sort of coming away from the beading there, and then in places as well, like it looks a little bit rough on the welted seam, but apart from that, you can see that from the stitching that they are a very well made glove. And then let's go to that lining. So again, the lining I think has been improved in terms, even though it looks delicate, it is now more durable than the lining was before. If you remember, I'll show you the red pair. This was a beautiful lining, but I was concerned about the durability of that one, whereas with this one I've got less concerns. It is a better lining. You can see it is actually exquisite when you look at that inner lining, and definitely I feel that it's got that durability. Okay, then first up to the scales, 16 ounce on the label. Let's bring it round in the lace. It's always an interesting moment when you put a Mexican glove on some scales. And there we've got 16.9, so that is a little heavy. And then over there, 16.2, which is perfect in keeping with what you would want from a 16 ounce with lace. Okay, so let's come on to comfort, and this is where I was talking about the Rubik's Cube at the start of the video. So I want to there's a couple of things that have happened on these gloves that I didn't feel on previous incarnations of the Imperial line. As I put them on, you've got a very comfortable finger pad area. It's not uncomfortable at the back of the first finger knuckles either. It's nice and comfortable around the knuckle area. good punch surface with that new foam that is in there. Then we come on to the thumb. It's comfortable at the front, and you've got a nice padded wrist there, which again gives you good support on the wrist. Now with this particular thumb, as you can see, it does stick out there. Okay, so I've got a bit of movement there, and I don't know whether it's just this particular glove, because all the other Bryant boxing gloves I've ever had have never had that. And if I compare it to the other glove on the thumb, you'll see that even the left glove is in and the right glove is out. So I would say that this thumb would be much better if it was closer to this thumb. In saying that, when I come onto this thumb, although that's in and it's nice, there is a tight bit here, which again I didn't feel on other gloves from Bryant Boxing. So it's almost like this glove is nice there, but uncomfortable here, and this glove, the thumb just sticks out a little bit too much. I don't think it would prevent them from being used in sparring, but I would say that it would be better if both thumbs were the same and tucked in. Now, same on this glove though, all the other areas of the glove are comfortable, which is a real shame. Let me show you the purple. Let me show you the purple ones. Okay, so these was a flatter punch surface. These was more of a Mexican type punch surface with the flatter latex, and there you go. That's me trying to push out that thumb, and as you can see, I can't really push it out. And then I'll come back to this one and show you this one, and on this one you can see that I am able to push it out in this area here, so that's a real shame. When it comes to bags as well, I actually preferred these and that flatter punch surface on the bags to these, although I do think that this is a better punch surface for sparring, obviously minus that sort of sticky out thumb. So I don't want to bash them too much in terms of that, because it may well be that it's just this particular glove, and all the other pairs of these that Bryant Boxing do, the thumbs are fine. So I am going to give them the benefit of the doubt on that. Certainly I've not had it before with any Bryant Boxing gloves that I've had. So let's go into Bryant Boxing. I'm going to go into the heavyweight fit to box lace division, which is 201 English pounds to 400 English pounds, or 251 US dollars to 500 US dollars. Let me get that on the screen then, the card. So you can see these are a USA company. The gloves are made in Mexico. I've gone style 97. I think they're super stylish. I love the lining, that red lining. The embroidery being a little off on the left glove detracts a little, but I still think that these are stunning looking gloves. Comfort, I've mentioned the comfort. I still think they're a comfortable pair of gloves, and I've given them 95. Apart from sort of the thumb issues, everything else about the gloves, areas that other gloves fall down on, Bryant Boxing have got down, and they are fine. Durability, 97, of course, with that 18-month replacement padding service. I bolstered the durability because of that as well. Sparring, 94. Bag, 94. So in sparring and bag, they've lost a little, a point on each of those from the previous ones that I did the review on, which was the purple ones, just because, as I say, about the punch surface and the thumb. Value for money, 96 at 275 US dollars. Including that 18-month repadding service. So overall we've got 95.5, which is the same as the score that I give for the previous version. They have made improvements, but there are a couple of things wrong with this glove that weren't wrong with this glove. And if I was to sort of be very, very honest, if I was to pick the Bryant Boxing that I like the best out of all the Bryant Boxing training gloves that I've tried, I'd have to refer back to this one. I really like this one. The only thing that was about this one was the lining. It was a beautiful lining, but wasn't that durable. They fixed that with this lining. Still beautiful, but is more durable than that one. So you can see what I'm saying here. As one thing improves, maybe dropping the ball in another area, another thing improves, and that's the sort of thing that happens when you're trying to constantly improve your gloves. So 95.5, 3 fit to box stars. That is excellent gloves, and I really do mean these ratings when I say excellent. I mean, these gloves are excellent. I'm not saying, oh yeah, they're a good pair of gloves. I am saying that these are excellent gloves. Then we'll come on to the 3 Mexican flaws, which is my test that I like to do. The first one is comfort. These are really comfortable gloves, apart from the little thumb issues. So I would say that pretty much it's a pass in that area compared to a lot of the Mexican gloves which I've been reviewing, which I've pointed out, just really rough when it comes to the comfort. These are not that. Then it comes to the weight, and the weight for these are fine. So again, some of the Mexican gloves, massively overweight. These don't suffer from that flaw. And then you've got sort of the weird Mexican thumbs, which I've sort of seen on some Mexican gloves. Again, these don't suffer from the sort of the angle of your thumb being there and it being a short, fat thumb. They only sort of suffer from the areas I've mentioned earlier in the comfort. So these are available from bryantboxing.com, and you can also get them from Box Up Nation, which obviously is an excellent store that I've recommended before on the channel. Love what they're doing there. So in terms of the score, no change in terms of the score from the Purple Imperial. Some improvements have been made, but let down by things that weren't actually wrong with the purple gloves. But I have to say, super stylish. And what normally happens is they run their Imperials in batches. So what would happen is there's only going to be a certain amount of these gloves out there. And because of that, if you do buy Bryant Boxing, what you find is you've got a pretty exclusive pair of gloves. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box channel, and I shall speak to you soon.